Good evening. And if you're watching this later, this is how I'm starting. My name is Jimi, and I'm quite excited that you're joining us this evening for the Money Heist show. This comes up every Tuesday, and it's always an amazing experience. Welcome, Yusuf Iboku. My sister, KW, good to see you. I miss you. We should catch up soon. Click Talk Blog, welcome. Alright guys, welcome, good evening. Buchi, good evening. Hey, Ann, how you doing? Beautiful, good to see you. Hello everybody. Ezekiel, how you doing? Aaron, you are looking for money. You want to be iconic millionaires. Pastor, there's a pastor here. Wow. An iconic millionaire that is, that's a pastor that's going to be beautiful. We're going to have a good time tonight. I promise you, it is going to be for only 1 hour. Alright, welcome, Ekwi Dimples. Bobby Cam, how you doing? Makosi, Tokyo. Hey, I see you, my sister. Good to see you. Welcome this evening. We're going to have an amazing time tonight. Very practical, very real, and of course, it's going to make you, at least get you some steps closer to being a multi-millionaire, not in naira. I'm so sorry, but in dollars, all right? We have to be intentional about wealth. We have to be intentional about building what it is that we want. Alright, I see you. Good evening, Smile Zone, I see you. Beautiful, welcome this evening. Tell your friends, let your friends know that we're doing this. And look, I have my notes ready here. Notes here, notes here and all that, and it's going to be really, really interesting. I sat down to prepare this, and it's going to be very interesting. Someone said, is it about Big Brother? Well, I will be your big brother today, okay? I promise you, I'm not going to evict you. They are going to remain in the house till you make. I only evict people when they become millionaires in dollars, okay? So tonight's going to be interesting. And here come my brother. I see you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you again. I've had a long day, but I said to myself, I must make sure that I do it. Once I'm through tonight, I have another session, but it's going to be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, yes, you are here tonight. All right, so if you want to be an iconic millionaire, let me know. Say I am here. Say I am here. Let me know. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Welcome this evening. Let me take my music down and let's get going very, very quickly. You're all welcome this evening. And I want to thank you for joining us this evening. Let me mention again, in case you missed it, in fact, just so you know, this is the last time I am coming live on IG for Money Heist. Yes, I said it. I've been saying it for a while now. The Money Heist is transiting to Zoom platform, all right? And what that means is that you're going to see the advert, but it will tell you, come and join us on Zoom, okay? So please make sure you click the link in my bio. There is something there that speaks about the Money Heist show with Jimi Tewe, and that way you can be a part of it. And there's going to be tremendous value. I'm in talks with a financial institution, and they have some amazing investment package, around treasury bills and some other things, and I know a few money instruments, and that might just be the good first step you need to take. And so I'm going to bring in people like that, experts in the field that can actually, and I promise you, I will bring some millionaires in dollars. They're going to share some things with you, and guys, it's going to be amazing. See, last week, let me tell you something, just off the cuff, last week I made some extra money from investments just because my ears heard something. I want to say this to you, there's money moving, but it better be moving in your direction, and many times the money that moves in your direction is simply because of the people that you are moving with. All right, so I don't need to even go over that again. Your association determines what kind of information comes to you. So somebody walked up to me and said to me that they're trying to raise a particular amount. It was a lot of money and all that, and they offered the percentage for just 3 days, and I made a little bit of money from that. I'm going to leave the details out of that, but let me say this to you, I will never have been called upon, number one, if I wasn't in the right association. And sometimes you might even be around them, but they will not tell you because maybe they think you don't have the capacity. I've told you something, begin to build your revolving wealth fund. They called me, I was able to move money from 1 or 2 accounts, move them into it, made the money, and I moved the money back. So what if I didn't have that money? So I want to ask you, how much have you put aside? This month they paid you a salary for employees, Have you gone ahead to go and budget to blow everything? Now that everything is coming back to normal, please be very careful. Start today. Start putting money aside. 2 days ago, I got some money I did not plan, all right? A huge chunk of it I've taken already and I've put into something so that way my hand cannot touch it, but my life can touch it, okay? We have to be intentional about becoming multi-millionaire in dollars. By the way, I hear this and I still asked somebody in the industry this morning, and it says that the Naira dollar, that the dollar is very likely, over 50% likely to crash in the next few weeks, because there's going to be some injection of funds by the central bank and all that, where dollars will be, put into the market and all that, and that would, typically, all things being equal, there's going to be like a bit of a crash where that is concerned. What does that mean? It means if you have dollars now, I'm just giving you what I heard. I'm not speaking as an expert, but if you have dollars now, you want to see how you can convert it so that when it crashes, you can buy low, and if it rises again, you can sell high again. That's how you make money, just by maintaining a certain level of liquidity. This is not the time to buy dollars. I need to buy dollars for something I'm doing, but I'm not buying dollars now. What I'm doing is I'm keeping my Naira, because based on that information, I really can actually begin to make extra money. And let me say this to you, little drops of money make up multi-millionaires. All right, never discount and say to yourself how much that maybe if you do an investment you're going to make maybe $200. Well, $200 is money, so don't ever discount anything. Put money aside, and of course, in all you are doing, never forget this: be a blessing. I posted something earlier today. I was just browsing through somebody's story and I saw a lady who had cancer somewhere behind her nose or something like that. And I sent, some amounts. Now, why could I send money? Because I had money to send. You can't afford to be broke. You can't afford it. At least on behalf of those around you, we cannot afford you to be broke. We need you to buy us a Ferrari or make us iconic millionaires. So, ladies and gentlemen, you must be making money. You must be managing the money that comes into your hands. And most importantly, you must be multiplying that money so that way you can live a better life. But very importantly, you are able to be a blessing to those that are around you. Tonight, I'm going to be sharing with you around being an iconic millionaire. And yes, I've studied Big Brother, this last one. I didn't watch. I never really, sat down to watch any episode. Maybe I'll probably go somewhere and I'll probably see them watching an episode and all that. But this one was particularly different. I studied trends. I find out what goes on, and I began to ask questions. I watched a couple of videos and I realized that there's something that is there. I love finding easier ways to do things. Why must you, Ray, I can see you, why must you struggle to be alive? It doesn't pay anybody for you to struggle. Why don't you find out what works? Kemi Ogukoya, I see you. Congratulations on your book also. All right, so why must you struggle? So I'm looking for easier ways that people can understand. Now, the work is hard, but understanding can be easy. Let me say that again. Work can be hard, but understanding can be easier. And that's what I try to do with this Money Heist series and every other thing that I do, so that way you can understand things quicker and then do the work you have to do, even if it's hard work. All right, so I've studied it and I've found something. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 steps towards becoming an icon. Because again, I studied Mandela today. I looked again and I realized that there's a trend. Now, are you saying that there's a link between Lincoln, the icon, and Mandela? Yes, I'm telling you that. And tonight in this, session we're having, I will be sharing some of these things with you. Now, let me say this again for those that are just joining. Please make sure you go to my link and click in the bio. Money Heist with Jimi Tewe. All right, this is the last. Let me say it again. This is the last time, and this to the end of this year, I'm running Money Heist on IG. I'm going to be running it only on Zoom, because I want to know those that are truly serious about this, because I have big plans where it's concerned. I want to bring millionaires that will come and sit down, and the ones that can share a bit about the kind of things that they are doing. Some of them are employees, some of them are business owners. They are doing amazing things around the world, all right? So I will not be bringing that to the public. I want to know those that are serious and those that are not serious. I see all of you this evening. So please make sure you click the link in my bio once you're through tonight, and that way we're able to have you to join. Now, what does it mean to be an iconic millionaire? Well, let me say it very honest with you. Whether you're iconic or not, just be a millionaire. Legally, you do the right things, okay? Now, I put the word iconic there because, again, I'm leveraging a trend. You and I know that one of the ways to get attention is to find what already commands attention and leverage it, all right? You don't need to, now, you do it in such a way that it doesn't violate your values, okay? And you have to be very creative and ingenious where that is concerned, but have no, once you are able to utilize it to get attraction, why not? Some of you are probably joining this because, oh, it's always iconic millionaire again. This Jimi Tewe has come again. I have come, and tonight I will teach you how to be an iconic millionaire. By the way, thinking about it, an iconic millionaire will probably be someone who is not just a millionaire, but one that will never be forgotten. All right, icons are never forgotten. We have iconic buildings, we have icons as individuals, and one of the things I think life is about is maybe in a way becoming an icon. What does that mean? It means that you have made so much impact that even long after you are gone, you are well remembered. Every year we have the Martin Luther King Day, the Mandela Day in South Africa, and all those kind of things, and in Nigeria we have an Independence Day that is this week. That's another story for another day. I'm thinking about doing an IG live tomorrow. I want to share my thoughts on the new Nigeria, and let me tell you the title. If I get enough, do it, I will do it. The title is Prayer is Not Enough. I know some people will come and break my head, but it's okay. Nobody can touch me. I'm the Lord's anointed. But it's true. If Nigeria is going to change, prayer is not enough. But I know there's one thing that we add to prayer. Now, when I say prayer is not enough, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't pray. But there's something that if we add to prayer that would actually change the game, because it's a game. In fact, I've given you the codes to what I want to share, but I'm not going to talk about it now. So if I hear enough people talk about, come live tomorrow, because on Thursday we're going to hear the usual fellow Nigerians. We have done 60 years. Well, I don't know who that one helps, but anyway, so Felix says I should do it. All right, no problem at all. And just to share my thoughts, because I think that oh, you guys don't let me go into Nigeria right now. Let's stay with the iconic millionaire. Now, being an icon is very, very, now let's look at what happened in Big Brother, this week. And some say, can you talk about Big Brother? I'm not endorsing anything. I'm just saying you have to learn. Solomon said something. He said, go to the ants and learn. One of the problems we have is that we are very limited in our exposures for learning. And you see, the thing about it is that you can learn. You can even learn from evil, not to do evil. All right, I'm saying to do it. I'll do it. No problem at all tomorrow, okay? You can even learn from evil, not to do evil. But if you never see evil, you cannot even learn from evil. You cannot see the impact. And so, I'm not saying it's evil. That's not what I'm saying. In fact, by the time I'm through with you, I will share something. Yes, I wrote it here. This is number 7. Wow. Okay, beautiful. All right, great. So let's get into it. How does a brand or an individual become iconic? Now let me say something to you. When you become iconic, you have a product, you have yourself as a brand. For example, I am the product of my organization. My company is even called the Jimi Tewe company and all that. The fact about it is that if I become iconic, what that means is that whatever carries my name actually also becomes iconic and can attract a lot more value in the market space. All right, Tim, I see you. Okay, so one of the things I said to you is that there are 3 M's of, becoming a multi-millionaire. You have to make money. You can't become a multi-millionaire if you don't have several streams of income that are consistently bringing money to you. Now, always open your mind. Someone said, that in the school of motivational speaking, they say you must do one thing. I'm so sorry. What they meant is prioritization, not one thing. You can do 7 things and make them priority. Create systems, run them, and increase your level of income. You must do that. All right? Now, you must make money. And so tonight, what I will be sharing with you is not about managing money. It's not about multiplying money. But if you leverage it well, it can help you to make more money. Some people can have iconic brands, but they just don't know what they need to do. And many times they actually begin the process because there is a process to it. That's what I'll tell you. There is a process, and then eventually you can get the result. But many people, because they don't understand the process, they shy away from it, and then they are able to run. Now, what happens? So for those that don't know, somebody said something on Instagram or Twitter. He said, this big brother, I I've not watched it, but I've known. I mean, just being online, you will come across something somewhere and all those kind of. And that's why I came up, with this icon stuff. All right. Now, the winner who won 85 million naira, is called a guy called Lekon and all that. And I'm wondering, what exactly, was his story? How did he go through that? Then as I began to study, like I said, I began to look at certain other icons, people that have, emerged and they've become like household names that have attracted value, whether maybe not just financially, but having like social capital. And I found out that there's a common trend amongst them. Now, I'm going to go through very quickly and I'm going to tell you the anchors, because for every one of them, there is an anchor. And I'm going to tell you how you can move from having a brand that nobody respects to a brand that everybody wants to attach themselves to. Are you ready tonight? Let me hear. Are you ready tonight? Okay. If I can hear you're ready tonight, I will actually, continue. If I don't hear you are ready, then I would probably, let me say I'm ready. One or two people tell me I'm ready. And by the way, guys, at the bottom of your screen, there's this thing that looks like a little kite. Click it, share with your friends, okay? So that way they're able to be part of this, okay? Let me know you are ready tonight. Let me know you are ready tonight. Let me know you are ready tonight. Very quickly, very quickly. I need to know. All right, I need to know. All right, someone says I'm ready. Goodness Book says I'm ready. When single spray, oh wow, when single spray, you need it. Oh, you are ready tonight. Beautiful. Remember what I said, share with your friends. The arrow at the bottom, send to your friends, let them be a part of it. Someone said don't worry, ready to be iconic millionaires. Don't worry, we're going to help you with that tonight. Okay, I see a few were ready. Okay, let's start with that. Now, the first thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that whenever you launch a product or a brand into the marketplace, and this used to happen to me, but I didn't understand it, okay? I would design a program. Now, for those of you that want to launch new things, you are going to go through this process. And it's so critical, very important that you understand that there are stages to success. This is that process thing they're always talking about. And I want to break down these things for you, because some of you are actually on your way to creating iconic products, iconic brands, and it might not be globally iconic, but it can be locally iconic. Lekon is not globally iconic as at now, as it were, but within the Nigerian space, a number of people know him in the north, the south, the east, the west. So what I'm saying is that your products can become, or your services can be well known within certain vicinities if you can understand these processes that I'm going to be taking you through. Now, I'm going to say this to you: whenever anything new comes, people have a right to judge you. People have a right to judge you, and many times this is where many people fail, because when people begin to judge you, the easiest thing to do is to run back into your shell. Let me say this up front to you: no icon has been created in the zone of comfort. No icon, nothing of significance has been created in the zone of comfort. You are going to have to come out into the hard wind, face the wind, face things, and make your way no matter how tough it is. This is the reason why many businesses fail. Some of you are going to want to start a new business, all right, and you launch it the first week, and your friends buy, and what you don't know is that they bought out of support to you. But by the time you go to people that don't know you, the first thing they're going to do is that they're going to judge you. Judging is a normal human response that you must be prepared for. You're going to release your product and somebody will make a comment that is under. You're going to release your product, you're going to go to marketing and someone says, no, I don't, you want this product, I am used to another product already. So judging is one of the things that's going to happen. And number one, I want to say to you, people will judge you based on stereotype. So what do I mean by that? Somebody says, I want to be an iconic public speaker. You see, they're going to judge you based on the way they view public speakers. So for example, they say public speakers aspire to perspire to inspire. So when you come and say, I am a public speaker, already they will judge you based on that. Anything new that comes in is judged by the old. Let me say that again. Everything new that is introduced into the market is always judged by the old. I saw a clip today, so I went back to go do some research, and I saw the video where the young man called Lekon or something got into the Big Brother house, and he wasn't looking as fresh as they look right now, having gone through the program. But you know the very interesting thing that was there, a lot of people said, this one, at least it will grow fat before the end of the program. This one, I hope he will not steal something. People will judge you. Now, why did they judge him? His small stature, the way that he looked that day and all that. And what people don't understand is that people will judge based on, so why did somebody look at him and say, this one will steal? Because in their mind, people that look like this are at risk, they are risky, you know, and stuff like that. I remember I even saw one that this one maybe might even need to buy weed or something funny like that. You see, what people don't understand is that whenever they see something new, they reference the old to make sense of it. It is not their fault, it is the way that people operate. Are we together? Okay. So it is important that you are ready for rejection. Let me tell you what rejection is. Rejection, for example, in the process of sales, is the first response people have to what you are bringing to them. But it might not necessarily be the last response. That is why a lady, for example, might say no to a guy that wants to marry her, all right? But later, eventually marry her, haven't gone through. But the guy that runs back never ever gets an opportunity. In sales, they will tell you that, you see, for you, 80%, I've said it before on Money Heist, that 80% of sales will come usually after you sell the 5th time. What does that mean? You will be rejected 4 times. They will tell you, we don't want. They will tell you, what is it about? They will tell you, I'm already buying somewhere. They will tell you, it's too expensive before they consider it. So ladies and gentlemen, rejection is part of the process that icons will go through. I'm telling you that everybody, you see, in the Nigerian space, for example, anybody that is new that comes to the scene will first be rejected. And if they don't understand that rejection, they can just go back into their shells. So ladies and gentlemen, it is so important that people will judge you based on stereotypes. Don't let stereotypes stop you. Sometimes you might need to adjust your prototype. Okay, because maybe there's such a huge deviation from the stereotype, because people, you need to give people room to accept what it is that is there. Are we together? And so it's important that you recognize this, that you are able to build from. So number one, people will judge you based on stereotype. What must you do where this is concerned? Number one, you must have courage. That is what is required. Courage to stay in the game. A lot of you started stop this year, you stopped. You must learn to continue. I'm not asking you to continue blindly. I'm asking you to continue intelligently. You need courage. You know the reason why? If you pass this stage, the reward you will get is visibility. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you something that there's no, I don't know how many housemates were in the Big Brother house and all that, but there are loads of people that got rejected also. But he made it on that platform, he got visibility. I'm saying to you that in every market, what you need is visibility. But before the world will give you visibility, they're going to test whether you are ready for the game. So I don't know anybody here that is gone back because you put something in the market. People began to make funny comments. You introduce your product or your podcast, even free podcast. They are telling you, why is your voice sounding like a frog? All right, I've told people this. Whenever people criticize you, they are pointing to your improvement opportunities. It is people that don't have emotional resilience that don't like critics. You have to love critics. Critics help you to improve faster. Do you get my point? All right, so number one, people will judge you based on stereotype. I've said that what you require is courage. Okay, and what it will give you is visibility. Before the program started and all that, many people did not know that young gentleman, but because he was bold enough to be courageous, he eventually came. I'm not sure that, I'm sure that even during the process of selection or whatever, he probably faced a lot of rejection, but he stayed all the way there. So number one is visibility. Okay, it's important. Now the other thing that is there, when you scale judging by stereotype, that's still not the end. The next level is that people will judge you based on their experience with you. So the first time they see you, they will judge you based on stereotype. But the next time, if there is a next one, they are going to now, what you need to introduce is for them to experience you. So from what I heard, the man, all of a sudden, the small man in the little package began to sound so wise. And we were like, it's like this guy is a wise guy, because wisdom makes the face of a man to shine. Have you not read that in the Bible before? Wisdom makes the face of a man. So his wisdom became attractive, as it were. His correct articulation of words and things like that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying to you that once you can go beyond the first phase, what you need to give people is an experience of you. When I began to speak, public speaking and all that, I'm sure some people wondered, who is this one again? But you know what I did? I continued till I noticed something. People will come. Some people have confessed and said to me, Jimmy, I have to be honest with you. All right? I have to be very honest with you. I thought that you're like one of those inspired to perspire. That is stereotype. But I found you're different. They cannot find you're different until they have experienced you. And so one of the things you want to create for your brand or your business or your product is to create experiences for them. Now, customer experiential, there are so many models and things that companies are going into now just for people to experience, because what they found that experience makes people change their mind. That's why you see a lady that said no to the guy. Then all of a sudden the guy is nice. He does one or two things and all that. They now say he's not bad though. He's not bad. Came because they have what? Judged based on experience. So whenever you launch things in the market, particularly new things that people are not used to, you need to find a way to give them an experience. You guys are having an experience. There's some of you probably that have never heard me before. This is your first time experiencing me, but I'm changing your mind about me. Nobody can actually determine who you are if they've not experienced who you are. So the more people began to watch him and he would say something, he would sound wise, he would do this, he would do that, he would laugh, he would probably dance or whatever they used to do back then and all that. I'm using that as an example. People began to change their mind towards him. So you will see some new memes in the market. This guy, as sharp as Leko the brain, like my sister Makosi said, and all that. All of a sudden, I think they even said there was a time a lady said she's attracted to his brain and not to him. Now, that can be, can be very, you can feel it's insulting, and all that. But at least you found one thing. Ladies and gentlemen, when your customers find one thing that they love, leverage it. When your customers find the one thing they love, leverage it. Have you heard me tonight? This is so important. And I sat down. Larry, I can see you. Good evening. All right. This is so important. And I don't know if you've ever heard this from anybody. So let me tell you what I do. I study stuff. I sit down. I conceptualize. Then I validate looking at other models. And I find it's true. I know with confidence I can teach you. And that's why I'm teaching you this. I've never, ever taught this anywhere. But I can tell you that it works. I've looked at my own journey and I found out that this was what I did. It's good evening, good to see you. This is what I did, even though I did not do it consciously. You know what? I'm sharing this model with you so you can run faster than me, so you can do things better than many of us that are ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, leverage, thank you, a big man, I can see you. Leverage the thing your customers love. Let me tell you something. When I started off with all my public speaking and all that, I used to go to speak at NYC because at that level, those are people that were willing to listen to me. And I would say to people, one, you have to have a career. I had one product then was like $100. Dollars was still $1.60 now, and all that. And I would find out people would not buy. But you know what I found out? I found out that they will buy after giving them an experience. So I'll say to them, I'm having a free program. We didn't have all this Instagram live and all those things back then. So I'm having a program here. And then from that first experience to the second experience, do you know, I'm doing a project right now. Let me tell you, this is true now. There's a project my company is handling right now. And it's a 7-digit project, all right? I have a set of staff that are running it. How did it come? It came from a youth couple that I met 2 years ago. I went to go and speak. I'd not been there for a while, and I just went there to go and speak. And based on that experience, this gentleman just walks up to me at the end. Because I've learned that every copper is not a copper. Some people they are not copper, they are, what is the opposite of copper? I don't know, iron or whatever. Anyways, the guy walks up to me and then introduces himself to me, asks me whether I can do a few things. I respectfully respond to him, and the guy has given me business today. Now we're talking about, this is stage 1. There are other things we're going to be doing. Why was he willing to come up to me? Because he had an experience with me. Ladies and gentlemen, the thing that causes people to have experience with you is called value. Write that down, somebody, for me. It's called value. The thing, you see, the first one was courage, but courage is not enough. You must add to your courage value. You must bring value to the table. Let me say this to you. Value is in the eye of the beholder. What is value to me might not be value to everybody. So you need to find people that will value what it is that you have. It's so important. Okay? So now let me tell you what value does. Value gives you a uniqueness in your market. Now, when I started off, I was speaking like everybody, like Fela Tewe, like Larry Lushola, like a couple of people, even like Tony Robbins and people like that we see globally. But you know, I got to a point where I began to realize what resonated more, and I began to leverage it. And that is the premise for the value that I bring to the market. Tonight, one of the things you clearly can see is my intelligence, all right? It's not pride, it's just real. It's real. How I'm able to use words and put them together and communicate facts in a way you can understand. That is intelligence. Intelligence is not cramming anything. It's being able to take complex things and make them simple. That is what it means to be intelligent, all right? But that is the uniqueness. So anytime I come to speak, you can't tell what I will say next week. You can't. I'm sorry. You can't. Because even I can't tell you what I'll say next week. Okay, and so that is the uniqueness. I allow that to happen. I allow that to happen with every experience. And people are like, oh, I want to hear Jimi again, because the last time I heard something new, you know, where that is concerned. So again, what you require is you must bring value to the table. Please, a lot of people are in the market, and what they have are products or services that are designed to collect money and not designed to add value. Let me say this to you: even if you collect money without adding value, you cannot collect that money for long. Always, what keeps the door open is not just collecting money, is adding value. All right, and so you could see that in, and I'll tell you another part to it, because you see that gentleman unconsciously did something. You see, let me look. You know what it means to be an icon. I saw this screen. So today I've been in the middle of research. I saw this screen where a screenshot of the votes that he got. People were spending millions to vote for somebody they had not met before. May they spend millions on you. Let me pray that prayer for you. Can you imagine you have a product and people are saying you must buy it? I say if you don't buy it, I will beat you. That's what it means to have savage commitment. And there is a methodology. Like I posted, all right, earlier, I said that there's a method to madness. In other words, you don't just become mad. There are some things you must go through to become mad. The same thing also, success has some sort of methodology that you must adopt. So number one, people judge you based on stereotype. What you require is courage. It gives you visibility. Number two, people judge you next based on experience. That what you bring is value, and what it gives you is uniqueness in the market. Let me tell you what uniqueness does. Uniqueness gives you an opportunity to stay in the market. People will give you, there are 5 brands of soap, but this one, it does this. What they are saying is that let's give this person an opportunity in the market. And so it's important that your uniqueness must stand out. Let's go on very quickly. Now, number 3 is that even after that, people will judge you. The judging is not over. I'm so sorry, but you need to. That's why a lot of people have. I coach people, and I coach about 5 people today in about 3 countries. And one of the things I saw consistent with a number of them is the fear of rejection. Because in Africa, we are trained to be afraid of rejection. And what we don't know is that it's a part of the process towards success. Now, I'm going somewhere now. So people will judge you. Number 1, based on stereotype. Number 2, based on experience. Number 3, based on your reality. Lucozade boost, not wine. All right. Okay. People will judge you based on reality. Now you know the amazing thing that happened with that young man Lekon. After they are accepting him, people began to look for old videos. Then they said, oh, the guy is a rapper. Then they found his videos. That people began to post his videos. People began to post his videos now. But they went to go and look in his past to determine how they will work with him in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, what am I saying to you? I'm saying that the little things you are doing today will matter tomorrow. I'm saying the things, let me say this to you. For those that write books, your first book will not be your best book. But when your bestseller comes, you can relaunch all your old books and you'll buy it all over again. I'm telling you. So don't discount what you are doing now. The little you are doing now matters. It will matter eventually. Are we together? And so people will judge you based on reality. You know the reason why? They are trying to validate you. This is the last stage before acceptance. Judging based on stereotype is generic. Then they come closer to you. They will judge you based on experience. That's closer. Then they will now go to the third one. They will judge you based on your reality. They want to know whether who you said you are is who you really are. They will, you know the way they say it in where I'm from, they will go and check your family house to be sure whose father you are. Are you really who you say you are? Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last stage before public validation, and I'm going to get that in a minute. So now, for validation, what they are checking, all right, is your authenticity. Authenticity. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the currencies for the new time we're living in is called authenticity. I can tell you that for free. Let me say this to you. You know the reason why people are attracted to authenticity. Even if you make, and this is when they say, oh, he's real, you are real. People love real people in the world we live in because fake people are a dime a dozen. So to find authenticity in the middle of duplication or duplicity is a wonderful experience. Wow, this person is just like we thought he is. There's so much disappointment. Many ladies know what I'm talking about. You find this guy, guys find out about this. You find this lady and they look at them, you now find out they are not who they say they are, is not who they really are. What do? You withdraw your acceptance at that point in time. It happens with your product. It happens with your services. People, this is the last stage, and what they're checking is your authenticity. Somebody said to me one day, he said, Jimmy, you are so real. I said, wow, it's so difficult being fake. I want you to know that, that I'm not there yet. I'm on my way there. I want you to know that anything I say I'm doing is what I'm doing. I want you to know that this is the way that I am at home. I want you to know that if I do this with A, is what I will do with B. Authenticity is a beautiful brand that will sell in the times we're living in. You know the reason why? The crowd is usually moved by what is fake. Have you noticed? Somebody said Birkin bags, that there are more Birkin bags in Nigeria than Birkin, the people that made Birkin have made. If you don't know Birkin, don't worry. For we, the millionaires, we are preparing to buy for our wives, okay? Just for a birthday present, not because we're trying to pose, just to carry load, all right? That's all that we're buying the bag for, okay? So, people will judge you based on reality, and really it's about validation. Now, okay? Now, this is the private. This is the place that the general public have not seen you. And you see, let me tell you what now happened with Lakon. The moment people realize, this guy has been hustling. Let me tell you something about it. You see, the word icon, let me read something to you. What icon means. The word icon means a symbol. Let's see, I'm looking for one of the simplest definitions. I like simple, all right? A symbol or someone that represents something. Let me tell you why that guy, there were many people that were in the Big Brother house, what I found out, but that guy was the guy that looked like the average Nigerian. Go and check it out. That guy was the guy that looked like the average Nigerian. His reality was more like the reality of most Nigerians. And that is the reason why a lot of people could relate with him. Some people or other people had strengths, the way they looked, maybe part of their body or whatever, and all that. But you see, only some of us can identify with those things. Some people cannot identify with those things. But that guy looked like the person is framed. All right, we even found out they said maybe it was SC or sickle cell or whatever. Much later, oh my God, are you serious? This guy needs the money. And that's, you see, that is the part where when people began to, so let me tell you about icons. People must be able to relate. That's where authenticity is. You must be relatable. Relatable. You see, I see people, sometimes you do adverts and all that, and it's great to bring, I'm going to do some adverts, on a global level, and I'll probably bring somebody that, has some really nice phonetics and all those kind of things. But for the markets that I'm trying to reach, if it's local, I must make sure I use something they can relate with. Something. Hey, Tewe, I can see you. Good evening. All right. So people began to accept him after, number one, he had passed the stereotype stage, he had passed the experience stage, he had passed the validation stage. Then this is what you get with acceptance: public praise based on findings. All of a sudden, you will now see people going, now let me go to you. They will now take your product and go, finally, You know, somebody says, oh, that why don't friends, support their friends' business by posting in their stories and all that? Let me tell you why. It's just bad human behavior. People only post success. They don't post trial. Let me say it again. It's just the way human beings are. People don't post success. They don't post trial. They only post success. Now your friend that has not posted your page, please be patient with them. When you blow, they are the ones that will be telling, my guy, follow them. They won't buy from you, but they will tell other people to follow you. This is why people have problem with people. I hope what I'm saying is valuable to you tonight. And so it's important that you understand that after you have been validated, you now begin to get the first signs of public praise. Someone says, I brought down the roof today. All right. My new book, I was going to title one of my new books, Money Heist, but there's a trademark. My lawyer is there, and all that. So there's a trademark. I can't do that. But the title is still very serious. And I'm going to expand shades on some of these things inside the book, okay? And many things I've not shared with this, okay? And all that. So yes, people text me. People don't post trial. Come and support. You are not posting my brand. They can support you. They can post at 12 midnight. Don't be angry. But let me say this to you. If you keep going and you're successful, you'll be begging them not to post your post any longer. All right? Because that is the first sign of acceptance. Now, once you move beyond that, you are still not iconic. To be iconic, let me remind you, is to have, I don't know how many votes the guy got, but I saw videos, people were making a Nigerian food, it's called amala, all right? And with nice goat's meat and all that, and saying, vote for Lekon, come and get. Now, the guy did not carry a mic. The guy did not make a post. Now, somebody was handling his IG post. By the way, the guy moved from 3,000 followers to over 1 million followers in 3 months. I've been in this game. I'm not yet iconic. I'm telling you, so I'm studying these things. All right? And my cousin voted. Beautiful. So it's so important to realize that people will cook food just so that others can buy your brand. That's powerful. And you see, let me say this to you. Tomorrow, I'm going to come online and I'm going to talk about Nigeria. You know the reason why? Nigeria needs icons. I've not shared it before. What I will share with you, because somebody said this, and let me prove it to you. Somebody said, all these big brother people, they are voting, and everybody has a choice. It's called freedom of choice. Maybe I didn't vote by choice and all that. Yes, my cousin is here. She's my amazing sister and all that. 1.6 million people voted. Oh, great. How do you get 1.6 million people to vote for you? Do you know what that means? That's power, or 1.6 million votes. That's powerful. Now, hear me, and hear me very well. You see, that guy somehow, through that program, tapped into something that makes people iconic. I can tell you that he will probably do way better than some other winners of Big Brother, because there are certain things that he has gone through. Some of those people, they tried their best, they pushed and all that, but now it's different. I'm going to tell you where, he has 1.6 million followers now. Amazing, no problem at all. So the next level to become iconic is that an influencer or several influencers must take up your cause. Ladies and gentlemen, all men are not men, no. Are you hearing me? Some men are men's. You know what I mean by men's? A men's is somebody whose voice sounds like plenty voices sounding at the same time. And what I mean by that is this, that it's great to have people vote for you. But when somebody commands his army on your behalf and says, guys, this is the person you should vote for. And people, you need to understand, those are what we call influencers. Now, I know there's influencer marketing and we try here and there and all that. But let me tell you the real influencer. The real influencers are the ones that you don't pay to push your brand. They take your brand by themselves. Moyo, I see you. All right. Yes. They will take your brand and push it. So you had Tunde Ednot, I have to go and study all of these things and all that. And I'm still very spiritual. For anybody that has problems with me, it's your business. Anyway, Tunde Ednot and all those kind of people, they began to push. And a number of people now, in fact, go and check the people that got to the grand finale. They got a number of influencers to come behind them. But let me tell you this, influencers don't take people that have not been proven. Influencers are looking for the next wave. But for you to be the next wave, you must have gone through that process. Don't stop in your process. I know we come and we tell you many times, that you can make $10,000 in 30 days, and it's true. But even if it's taking you 30 years, don't stop. Get faster. So influencers are, look, let me say this to you. Politicians need influencers. Many of them will tell news, come and cover our event, come and cover. But when you get to a point you have been proven, it is the papers that will have a column for you every day talking about you. That is when you are on your way to becoming iconic. What do I mean by that? And we need to begin to think about with regards to the brands that we run, our businesses we run. Because let me say this to you, we are in the space where emotions will play a stronger part in decision making than rationality or being rational. And you must become a master with emotions where groups are concerned. So there's a concept called groupthink, for example. And if you can understand how a group of people will behave, you can utilize that knowledge to get your results. So the next phase is influencers, and influencers only come for public validation. Remember, the first one was just the first sign and all that. That one was private validation. This is now public. To say, let me even, hey, oh, Jimmy. Oh, I want to misbehave right now. One day, Jesus had been through 30 years. We didn't hear his voice. In fact, when he launched at the age of 12, someone said, how can we read the Bible? Calm down. Jesus says, I'm okay with it. At the age of 12, he was in the temple. My wife is laughing. He was in the temple, and he was, don't you know about my father's business? This mother and father shut him up, and he was subject to them. But ladies and gentlemen, a day came that even God came and said, this is my beloved son. Sir, at that point, nobody could stop him. God was not talking to human beings alone. No. God spoke to spirits, God spoke to wind, God spoke to elements, then God spoke to men. And what he was saying is that all of you hear him. That's what God did. So even Jesus had public validation. I'm saying this to you, ladies and gentlemen, that there are levels you never get to until people will actually validate you publicly. People that are up. Look, I'm telling you something. It's so important, very, very important, that you realize you must be a person that has favor not only with God, but you must have favor with men. You must have favor with what? God, and favor with what? With men. Okay, beautiful. Now, yeah, thanks for saying happy birthday to my wife, my wonderful wife. Stay with me, stay with me. Now, the next level, we have done 5 levels. So let's go from the top for those that are just starting. Number 1, whenever you launch anything into the market, we're talking about making money and all that. Number 1 is that people will judge you based on stereotypes. Number 2, people will judge you based on experience. For stereotypes, you need courage. For experience, you need value. People will judge you, number 3, based on reality. You need authenticity at that level. Number 4, people will then praise you publicly. All right? Excuse me, that is acceptance, but that's not the end, okay? Then once you move beyond that, you now get to the influencers. This is where you now get public validation. But can I say this to you? It is still not what it means to be iconic. To be iconic, I've looked at brands, and brands that have emerged. I found out something, that they came out of a crisis. Go and check it. Brands that emerged came out of a crisis. And what do I mean by a crisis? For example, in some industries during COVID, some brands emerged in their industries that nobody knew about them before. Now, Zoom, hear me, Zoom that we always use has been in the market for how many years? But this year, Zoom crashed. You know why? Crisis is what brought them out. Let me tell you something. There's no greatness without crisis. Crisis is not a bad word though. It's just the fact that the speed of change is so fast that if you're not careful, you cannot control it. And so what that means, and let's look at it. Now, there are 2 dimensions I'm going to talk about, because what the crisis that brought Lagos to emerge is called competition. Write that down. Is one of the dimensions of a crisis. It's called competition. Let me say this to you. Hear me, all right? That what made, look, this was the competition, and you know the way that Big Brother, I need to meet that guy that designed this program, by the way. The way that they designed it, they understand the power of competition. The power of competition. It's so critical. And everybody faces it. From Mandela, he had a crisis. You had Martin Luther, he had a crisis. I mean, for you to emerge as what's his name? I want to say Tim Godfrey. Tiger Woods, everybody. To be iconic. Because you see, no matter what Tiger Woods does, he's in a level he cannot come down from. They have placed him there. He had a crisis, but he still bounced back. Do you get my point? So, I found out something that, and let me say this to you. Have you ever tried to climb, when your plane begins to climb up, you will find out that the winds are strongest up. I want to say this to you because some of you want the reward upstairs, but you don't want the experience upstairs. You can't be for example, someone says, if they make you the president of Nigeria, do you know what it means to be the president of Nigeria? You can run mad. Robert Kiyosaki, yes. To be the president of this country, it takes God. I don't care how anointed you are. I'm serious. It's just the reality. But if you become president, and in spite of the crisis, you transform the nation, you become iconic. That's what happens. The people that are able to trump the crisis, able to trump the competition, are the ones that would emerge as icons. And I'm saying to you that when you get into your field, somebody will want to close down. I won't say that in the cement industry, one iconic brand wanted to close another one. They closed them down eventually. I think they even bought out some of their whatever. So these things happen at the top. There is a current crisis going on with one of the people that we love and all that. She's in the pharmaceutical industry in Nigeria. We saw her build a business from scratch. Now she's at the top of her field. All right, many of you have heard about it, Health Plus and all that, and now some people want to come and seize everything. I'm telling you, get ready for crisis. Someone says, God forbid. Jesus, before he became iconic today, had to go through a crisis. It's called the cross. There is no greatness without sacrifice. Please stop telling yourself that. It's about you being prepared for your moment. That is what matters. And all the stages are actually preparations for where you're going to. If I'm teaching well, tell me I'm teaching well. Tell me I'm teaching well. I need to teach this in Harvard or somewhere, okay? Small look for my destiny. What? 8:23. We have to be faster. I have another session by 8:45. All right. So, the competition. All right, and the thing about competition is called the response to the temptation of allegiance. Have you not noticed that in football, that people will say, my club is winning, and you know the amazing thing, they will buy jersey, they will buy boots, they will buy socks, they will buy even the boxers. They will. My brother is one of those people. He has membership card for his club. Some people say that's my club. Some people have membership card. When you get your brand to that level, you are iconic. You're iconic. And I can tell you, the jerseys they buy are the jerseys of those that won the competition. You hear me? It's so important. So when I say becoming an iconic millionaire, I'm not asking you to come and have a stroll in the park. And I'm saying to you that every single one of you has the capacity to be iconic. That's the way that God made us, by the way. Because you see, in our design, nobody has my fingerprints. Nobody in the whole world since Genesis to today. And nobody will, even after I've gone, based on trend analysis. And so the onus rests on us to live an iconic life. But let me go again through what you must go through. Number one, you will be faced with the test of stereotypes. People will think you're a normal person. You have to tell them you are super normal, not abnormal. You have to tell them there's a difference about you. And remember, what you need is courage. I'm going over it again. That will give you visibility. Number two is that people will judge you based on experience. Sorry, my battery. 1 second. All right, people will judge you based on experience. One second, I want to be sure. Yeah, people judge you based on experience. Then people will judge you based on your reality. They will validate you. Then if you have missed this, go back to the beginning and go and watch it again. I'm going to post this video. All right. Then the influencer will pick you. Those are what we call gatekeepers. In politics, there are godfathers, gatekeepers. They are what we call the influencers. In business, there are leaders in the industry that will bring you into their space. There are key players, what we call in consulting, we call something a power map. There are those that have the power. How they have it, don't worry about it. They have it. God will give you favor with them, and your good works will also bring you before them. The last one, like I said, is the crisis of competition. Now, number 7, and this is what I'm going to end today, to be truly iconic. Do you know the biggest icon in Big Brother? Who can tell me the biggest icon in Big Brother Nigeria? I know you didn't watch it, it's okay. But if you're on Instagram, there's no way you will have missed it. Okay? Alright. So, who can tell me the biggest iconic brand in that program? Who can tell me what the biggest iconic brand? Type it, please, while I drink some Lucozade. Tell me, somebody. What's the biggest iconic brand? Tell me. Anybody? Type it. I need to know very quickly. Someone says Lakers, no. Lakers, no. Ebuka, no. I get you, but it's not the one. Ebuka, no. Erica, no. Betway, no. When they leverage the brand, that's called associating with brands, but no. Ebuka, no. Ebuka, no. Correct. Joe the Wise is very wise. Big Brother is the wisest iconic brand. Leko will go pass away. Erica will pass away. Everybody that were there, I don't know all of them, they will pass away. But Big Brother is coming again next year. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know how to build platforms so that other icons can emerge, you can never be that icon that will last forever. Go and check every industry that had leaders. If those leaders don't pick up some younger ones and put them on their platform, they will become irrelevant in the generation of the younger ones after them. The relevance of fathers is the glory of the sons. It is sons that say, I will not be where I am today if not because of my father. And that's why some icons are already limited, because they have not created or provided platforms for those that are coming after them. So one of the things I'm learning to do in my field now is to find ways I can support people that are upcoming. Once they have passed through those tests, some people come to me and tell me, I've passed. But I look at them, I know they've not passed. You see, whenever a person becomes a platform, it's so beautiful. So Nelson Mandela became a platform for South Africans for freedom. You must become a platform. That is the only way. Now, one day I was meditating and God said something. He said, Jimi, do you realize what I did when I said that Jesus is my only begotten son? I said, what did you do? He said, look what I said. I said, this is my only begotten son in whom I'm well pleased. Hear ye him. You know what I told them? I said, stop hearing me, hear him. Fathers give voice to those that are coming behind them. And that way, they always remain relevant, because the son will say, my father, I am going to my father, your father. That's the last level of being truly iconic. A lot of people die on the less level. They themselves become icons. And that's great, it's not bad. But you see, it's still limited until you become a big brother. Allow me to use it that way. Alright? Until you become a big brother, a platform. Ladies and gentlemen, next year when they do Big Brother again and all that, we're going to see another one. Maybe Taju, we will see Cyril, we will see Frank, we will see, but the one I know we will see, we might not even see Ebuka. He might be there, or he might not be there. But Big Brother will be there. So I'm going to charge you today because we are called to be iconic millionaires. Let me tell you why. It's not sufficient that we have money. We're going to have money that has impact. But we must become icons. Every single one of us. Tomorrow, I'm going to come live again in the evening. And I'm going to be taking you through. I'm going to give it the time. I'll post it on my page. And I'll tell you why Nigerians need icons. Nigeria, the new Nigeria needs icons. But I'll tell you who those icons are. I know who they are. Alright? And you see, because we're going to be 60 in the next 2 days as a nation. So we have to, like my sister and I were talking about, we have to rescue this nation. But you see, let me go and tell you what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. Nigeria doesn't need prayers alone. We need players. That's the missing gap. We are praying. I'm sure if I drive out, I will see, and there's nothing wrong with it. You see, prayer is not incorrect. It's just incomplete in this equation. It's incomplete in this equation. We need players, and I'm going to tell you, and we don't need too many players. Have you noticed in a stadium of over 60,000 people there, only 24 people are playing part-time? So I'm saying to you that in a nation of over 200 million people, we don't need everybody. We need a few people. So tomorrow, please tomorrow is my own broadcast for the new Nigeria. I believe in it, but I can tell you up front, it will take us like 20 years. But if the journey of 20 years starts today, we need to start. Do you get my point? So we'll be praying and we'll be playing. When we pray and when we play, we will win the game. It's a game, and we must know that. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been amazing sharing this with you today. Tomorrow, I'm going to come, and I promise you're going to talk about Nigeria, and you will learn something. Even if you're a business person, I'll share some things with you around this. So, tomorrow when I post, please share, like, comment, or whatever. Let's get this out there. Well, I've spoken about that because let me say this to you. If Nigeria gets better, for those that are in Nigeria, we can become millionaires faster. Excuse me. If there's an environment where it supports businesses and all that, then we'll become millionaires faster. Our journey is being truncated because of the kind of leadership that we have. Yes, 20 years. I love the way you said it. It's so close, but it's right in front of us. Have you not noticed that this year is called 2020? And in optometrics, 2020 speaks about vision. So we're going to begin to have conversations about the vision of 20 years from today. Because some of the people that are leading us will not be there in 20 years. I can tell them to their face, excuse me, sir, you will not be here. Do the best you can while you're here. But you see, so that we can also make sure that when we get there, it will be good for us. This is the reason why we're going to have to. So tomorrow, I'll post the time. It's going to be late in the evening, maybe about 8:30 and all that. I will share those details with you. And myself and a few people are having conversations. We'll start small. Great things always start small. Start with one step and all that. Many of our methodologies, we're going to begin to look at that and all that. For those who love Nigeria, for those that don't love Nigeria, it's okay. All right. Like I said, we don't need. Many are called, few are chosen. But tomorrow, we will share so that when they come on Fellow Nigerians Day, on whatever, we already had what we need to hear. And from there, we're able to go. So guys, thank you very much. All right. I've had an amazing time this evening. Thank you for allowing me to share with you. This is the last day I'm going to be on IG with Money Heist. Next week, I will be on Zoom with Money Heist. Click the link in my bio. You will see something there called Money Heist with Jimi Tewe. Please go and register for that. So anytime you see the advert about Money Heist, I will only point you to Zoom. All right. Yes, I love Nigeria. See, my wife is putting, I love Nigeria. And this nation will be great again in my lifetime. I know it sounds tough, but I love crisis because icons come out of crisis. All right. So on that note, thank you. Let me play your music for you. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. All right. It's been great this evening. Thank you very much. Brenda, I see you. Let me heal my people. Hey, Pimo, I see you. Nicky Lagos, I see you. I should be playing I Love Nigeria. I'll play tomorrow. I'll play a national anthem. I'll share a few practical things that prayer has been generating, but players must utilize tomorrow. Okay? So thanks everybody. Yes. Thank you, Ugo. I see you. How you doing? My EAP people, I see you. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. I appreciate you. God bless you. If this has helped you, I'm going to post it, share with your friends. Let them watch the video. I'm going to save it once I'm through. Let them watch it. They can learn a lot from it. Yes. Icons are coming out of crisis. Yes, 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 yes. All right, I got to go right now. I have another session now, and so I need to go. All right, so I'll see you guys. Bye, everybody. Good night. Love all your families for me. Until I come again tomorrow, we'll see. Bye.